Hi, I'm Sashi Manushika. I'm Sashi Manushika, and my student ID is 2235000917. And today I'm gonna talk about 1.1p in SIT 232. And first I'm gonna talk about if statement. First we can see console write line where this message that can see to the users then enter the number as an integer. We can see this in the console. And then we have the try block. Inside the try block, the entry that user enter to the console, it will be converted to integer value, and it will be stored in the as a variable in the number. And we can see some if statements here. In the statements, if we enter the integer number 1, if the number is equal to 1, then console write and 1, and if the number is equal to 2, the console write as 2 as a string, and if the number is 3, and then it will shows us as 3 as a string, and this will happen until 9, 1 to 9. And then the else code. And what happens in the else code, if we entered the value that is not in between 1 and 9, and then this error message will be pop up, please enter a value between 1 and 9. And then we can see the catch block, which where an exception coded, and then in the catch block, if we entered any like even what happens in the catch block is if we entered any value which is not an integer, then this error message will be showed, please enter a valid integer, and then we can see please rerun the program and plus exception. Yeah, so on. Now I'm gonna run my program. Yeah, I have already run it. I will run it again. So just now I'm going to enter an integer value which is between 1 and 9, and it's 8, and we can see the 8, and then I'm gonna run this again, and yeah, now we can see the enter the number as an integer in the console. And now I'm gonna add a number which is not between 1 to 9, it's 11. So let's see. And then we can see the error message, please enter a value between 1 and 9, and then I'm gonna enter a number, enter, I'm run this again, and yeah, now I'm gonna enter something that is not an integer, something like a string. Okay, we can say 2, and then we can see that error message, please enter a valid integer, please rerun the program, and then the exception code. And that's all for the if statement. Hi, now I'm going to talk about the switch statement. And switch statement is really similar like if statement, and in here we can see number as the subject in the switch statement, and we can see some cases other than statements. And in here, if we enter value 1 as an integer 1, it will shows as 1 in the console, and if we enter 2, it will shows as 2. So this goes on 1 to 9 and so on. And we can see break here. This break is work to break each line in between, each line. This will break each cases in between. And then we can see the default control line, default line in the console. And if we enter an integer value which is not between 1 and 9, it will show this error message, you must enter an integer between 1 and 9. And there's also a break. And then finally the catch block. Inside the catch block we can see the exception, and if we enter any invalid integer, yeah, that which is not something which is not an integer, and it will show this error message, please enter a valid integer, please rerun the program and plus exception. So I'm gonna run it. Yeah, I have already ran this too, and now I'm gonna enter number in between 1 to 9, it's 5, and then they have we can see 5 in the console. And then yep, okay, I'm gonna run it again, and now I'm gonna add a number which is not between 1 and 9, and it's let me enter 12. And you must enter an integer between 1 and 9. Okay, then sorry, yeah, .NET Run. Okay, what is it? What is it? It is recognized. I think I have must, yeah, I think something happened in between, and now it's okay. And when I run .NET Run, oh yeah, there is a spelling error. It's do .NET Run, and I have entered .NET Run now. Yeah, that's okay. Now it's fine. And now I'm gonna enter invalid integer, which is yeah, let's see, hello. Okay, now we can see, please enter a valid integer. Please rerun the program. Yeah, and we can see the exception. Okay, now it's all about the switch. I'm gonna talk about the microwave question, and here's the try block, and we can see console write line, please enter number of item as an integer. We can see this message in the console, and please enter this one as well, please enter heating time for a single time. And in here in the console, we read what user entered, and convert it into an integer and store it as a variable number, and yeah, so on. We and number and ht, and we can see statements here. In these statements, if user enter a number 1, then we can see in the console recommended heating time is ht. That means general heating time. This is recommended heating time is 1 multiplied by general heating time, that is general heating time. And if user entered 2, then console write line, in the console we can say recommended heating time is ht multiplied by 1.5. If user entered 3, then we can see in the console the recommended heating time is 2, ht multiplied by 2, sorry. Else in the else statement, sorry, else if the next one, heating more than, yeah, if we enter 3, the number is larger than 3, then we can see this message, heating more than 3 items at once is not recommended, so on. Then we can see the else statement. And if we entered any invalid input, and then we can see this message. And in the catch block, console write line, in the catch block where the exception is coded, if we entered any invalid input, we can see this error message plus exception. Okay, now I'm gonna run it. Please enter number of items. In here they said we can enter only 3 items. If we enter more than 3 items, it will be give a error message. First I'm gonna add something smaller than 3, so 2, and then please enter heating time for a single item. It's we'll say 1, and then it's 1.5. The recommended heating time is 1.5. okay, so on. Now I'm gonna run it again, .NET Run. Since I entered 2, the answer is 1.5, because in here, if we entered number 2, the heating time is 1.5 from the normal heating time. I have entered as the heating time for a single item is 1, and it will be 1.5 since the 2 heating items. Okay, then I'm gonna add a number which is larger than 3. It's 4 in the heating time for 2. Okay, then this says this: heating more than 3 items at once is not recommended, since I have entered number larger than 3. Okay, so .NET run. I'm gonna add an invalid input, which is like let's say 2. And now I can see this error message plus the exemption. Yeah, so that's it about the microwave question. Hi, now I'm gonna talk about the do casting task, which is the 4th one, and here is the code for the do casting task. And here we have entered the int sum as 17 and int count as 5. And here we have added 0 as the variable int average, and then we have given int average is equal to sum divided by count, and then we can see in the console integer average is equal to int average, the answer which we get in by this calculation. And then we have added the double average, double average, and then we have added double average equation as sum divided by count. And then we can see in the console int double average is double average, which is the answer that come in by this. And then we have added double average double sum. We have added this double sum because then we can get a floating point division value, and so we added double sum and then divided by count, and then we can get the most accurate answer for this average as the average. And then we can see in the console correct double average is double average is this answer which we are getting by this calculation. Let's run this code. Yeah, in the console we can see integer average is equal to 2, incorrect double average is 3, correct double average is 3.4. And now I'm going to debug this code. I have noted my debug points right here, and I'm going to debug this code with this that I use to replace. Yeah, first we can see some in sum equals 0, in count equals 0, and integer average equals 0. Then I'm going to the next point. So there is int equals 17 and count equals 5, and still int average is 0. And now we can see the integer average as 3. And then we have entered sum is equal as 17, count as 5, and then we can see double average is 3. And finally we can say sum equals 17, count equal 5, and integer average equal 3, and double average equal 3.4, which is the correct answer for this division. Okay, this is the end of my discussion video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.